Human rights activists have today held a peaceful procession to condemn violence against women and girls in public and private spaces. And as Elizabeth Atieno now reports, this procession comes after the emergence of a disturbing video of a woman being sexually assaulted by a section of border riders. Take a look.
Kenyans were thrown into a state of shock for the better part of Monday after a viral video showed how a section of rogue border riders was sexually assaulting a female motorist along Nairobi's Wangari Maathai Road. In the video, the victim, who happens to be a Zimbabwe national, was heard crying and screaming for help as the perpetrators stripped off her clothes.
A young lady was accosted in broad daylight and abused as people milled past, while others took video shots of her screaming, being undressed and dragged out of her vehicle.
Her cries were today echoed by this group of women and human rights activists who flooded Nairobi City to protest over the despicable incident.
I would really want to have them paraded so that we actually know, what are these men? Are they men that are married? They're sons of women. How could they do this? Do they have any remorse? And I really hope that they get locked up for a very, very long time.
Tuna address wanawake kwa barabara, someone who's not even a Kenyan. How have you traumatized this woman? What is this name you're taking out there about being a Kenyan?
The incident has elicited mixed reactions among a section of Kenyans, human rights activists, and a section of leaders in both the legislature and executive arms of government. With Chief Justice Martha Koome strongly condemning the act, terming it barbaric, and further calling for the perpetrators to be apprehended and processed through the criminal justice system in a systematic manner. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights has also condemned the incident, stating that, and I quote, "the clandestine conduct of adopting kangaroo justice by way of meting sexual violence and mob justice should and must be stopped."
This is truly a very, very unfortunate situation. These are some of the isolated cases that are meted to the ladies, the women, and I take this opportunity to condemn this act, this barbaric act, from men who are supposedly the security people around the women.
The border industry has been identified as a weak link in attaining peace and harmony in the country. The sector being on the spotlight for violating human rights and fueling chaos during the electioneering period, with Monday's incident intensifying calls for regulation in the border sector.
We acknowledge that it is a source of income for a lot of our young people, but we cannot have a country running rogue by people on two wheels who cannot be brought under the rule of law.
We are also demanding that the Task Force on Election Preparedness issue a State of the Nation address on what they are doing to ensure that all forms of violence, including sexual and gender-based violence, will not be tolerated, will be prevented at all costs.
To assure each one and every one of us that even myself as a woman, we are going to follow up and ensure that all these issues are dealt with, and we shall continue to put in mechanisms to ensure that these incidents aren't repetitive.
In December 2014, a similar occurrence was witnessed after a lady was sexually harassed by a matatu crew along the Nairobi-Githurai route. The perpetrators were on the 19th of July 2017 sentenced to death. This incident led to massive demonstrations in Nairobi, giving birth to the famous slogan, "My dress, my choice." Elizabeth Atieno, TV 47.